watching 11Alive WXIA-TV. Atlanta's news channel. That will be This is 11 News Tonight.
The peach stands ready, suspended high above underground Atlanta, and when it falls, 1994 will have arrived.
And this is the view from even higher above in Skycam. Most of downtown is packed with people ready to ring in the new year. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this special New Year's Eve edition of 11 News Tonight.
We, of course, are live at underground Atlanta, along with, many thousands of people, perhaps as many as 250,000 people. Who knows? They're all here to watch the big peach drop. Many of them are packed inside the underground complex, and it's a tight fit, but in this cold weather, that just helps keep everybody warm. There haven't been any problems reported in spite of the size of the crowd. Last year, it was estimated about 250,000 people were here. Could we reach that number this year? Who knows? But the people continue to come, people from all walks of life, and we do know that everyone seems to be having a terrific time so far, Cynthia.
There's no doubt about that, John, but Underground isn't the only party in town. Just a few miles north in Midtown, it's First Night. Now, this is the first time First Night has come to Atlanta. It's like an alcohol-free New Year's party, an arts festival, and a concert all rolled into one. 200 entertainment events and lots of food will cap off this event, and then there will be a 3D fireworks display after midnight. Now, we'll check back in with them in just a moment. First, let's check up in the air with Bruce Arian and Skycam. Bruce, how's the traffic?
Traffic is building slightly, Cynthia, and we want to wish you all a good New Year's Eve, everybody. Boy, what a beautiful night. We have a full moon, hardly a breath of breeze out here tonight. And as we say, the traffic is starting to build. You know, in years past, we have seen that, there's your old full moon. Nice move there, Paul. As we look down here, we have seen, though, the traffic in and around underground just before midnight at a dead standstill, where folks started down here a little bit late. I think we probably have a lot of folks that got an early start this year because, as you can see, the traffic now is fairly light, but it is building slightly. And, man, what a carnival atmosphere. Boy, underground and the lights of the city are beautiful. And that's kind of a new addition, I believe, right there. That's that laser show. You can see it bouncing off the side of the building there. So the traffic is streaming into town. The streets are going to get clogged up here. We've seen that from year to year as the latecomers head into town. And we're going to show you the fireworks. We're going to be right here as all the activity takes place down at underground. And we'll show it to you from topside.
Well, you've got a great view, Bruce, as do we, looking at all the entertainment. So tonight is special for a number of reasons. Also because it's John's last newscast with us here on 11 News, and we have all the goodbyes coming up on our special at 11:35.
But before we move on, let's check in on one more New Year's Eve celebration, and that is, of course, the big one in Times Square in New York City. Now, this is the picture from a live camera that you see in Times Square. It's above the crowd there in Times Square. And we'll be checking in from time to time. But for now, there is other news to report this evening.
And sadly, John, that news is not good. There are traffic deaths every New Year's Eve, but this one appears not to be alcohol-related, simply a tragic accident. A 15-year-old girl was killed in a crash on Sandy Plains Road tonight in East Cobb County. Her brother was driving when a wrecker backed into the road. Their car hit the tow truck. Erin Villa was killed. Her 17-year-old brother and the tow truck driver were not hurt. No charges have been filed.
But no matter how many statistics we tell you about, there will still be those who are determined to drink and drive, and there will be those determined to catch them. Carl Brown is live in Gwinnett County, where the annual crackdown has begun. Carl.
John, you're absolutely right. As a matter of fact, police are sending out a very strong and clear message this New Year's Eve and New Year's Day that drunk driving will absolutely not be tolerated. Take a look over my shoulder here. This is just one of the command posts set up in central Gwinnett County here, where the officers can instantly process suspected DUI drivers. However, it does not start just here. Earlier tonight, we were at roll call, the units with the Gwinnett County Police Department. Now, these officers went over their game plan for the night, and they discussed their procedures for the operation. And then we went with them and saw them in action as they fanned out across a wide area of South Central and Southern Gwinnett County on the lookout for suspected DUIs. There are over 24 units represented by Gwinnett County Police and the Sheriff's Department, as well as the Georgia State Patrol.
If they drink and drive tonight, they should have a good possibility of finding one of us. We're concentrated in a small area, but we picked the area because of the amount of accidents we've had here and the amount of traffic we've got here, and there's a lot of different things go into the decision to come down in this area.
And once again, we are back live. Again, this is a command post that is set up. They can do breathalyzer tests here. They can even impound vehicles. 0.8 is what we're told is what the legal limit is, and if they blow in the breathalyzer here and find out that they are above that limit, even something below that, if the officer suspects that they are not safe driving, they can take them in here and take them on into the Gwinnett County Jail for processing. They're going to be out here until about 5 o'clock this morning, and just about anywhere you go, they expect to run into one of the multi-agency units that are coordinating this effort here, John and Cynthia. So back to you.
All right, Carl, thank you very much. A different scene in I-85 north in Gwinnett County tonight. Crews spent today mopping up some of the 4,000 gallons of gasoline that spilled out of the overturned tanker truck yesterday. A lot of the gas ended up in the head end of Peachtree Creek, so crews dammed that area and pumped the gas off the surface. The DOT also will monitor the asphalt where the fuel spilled to see if the gas did any damage to the pavement. Well, the last long holiday weekend of the year is here, and that usually means a crush of travelers at Hartsfield Airport, and the discount airfares are expected to keep a few more people flying this weekend than last New Year's. We made a late check at Hartsfield to find out about the parking, and Hartsfield reports their lots are about 2/3 full, so if you're flying out in the morning, you may still be able to find a parking space.
The new year begins in tragedy on a Montana mountain ridge. An avalanche traps a group of snowmobilers near Kalispell, Montana. 4 people are confirmed dead. A 5th is still missing. Search efforts are still underway tonight. Kalispell is popular for snowmobiling. Over the last 24 hours, the area has received up to a foot of new snow. A new year is a good time to reflect on the freedoms we have in this country, freedoms many people are denied. A young woman is beginning this new year in Georgia. She's Fidel Castro's granddaughter, and our Keith Whitney was with her in Columbus tonight for her first night in this country. And Keith, this all began when her mother defected to the U.S. last week.
That's absolutely right, Cynthia. The flight from Cuba for Alina Maria Salgado Fernandez was much less fraught with danger and daring do than it was for her mother last week. You could tell, though, in her face that the sense of relief was the same for both. Now, Alina Maria was joined by her mother, Alina Fernandez Revuelta, an interpreter, and their wealthy Cuban-American benefactor, Alina Amos, at her penthouse in Columbus, Georgia tonight. Alina Maria says her grandfather, Fidel Castro, put up no resistance in her effort to join her mother here. The two now pledge to help the legion of others in Cuba who want to flee from that communist country.
It feels for those mothers that cannot have their daughters.
Yo no puedo dar razones.
She cannot give reasons
las que me dejaron a mí
for why they let me go
y no dejan a otras personas.
and do not let other people go.
Yo lo siento mucho, 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 mucho.
She's very, 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 very sorry.
Now afterward, the family hoisted a toast celebrating the new year with their new life in America. I asked her if she had a New Year's resolution. She did. A very simple one.
Vivir.
She wants to live.
She wants to live, and that's about as direct as it gets. Now, plans for Alina and her mother are still nebulous on purpose. The State Department wants to keep it a secret for security reasons, obviously. Their defection, as everyone knows, is a tremendous PR coup against Cuba, which both women say is on the ropes economically, hurting from trade embargoes and the like. Now, when I spoke with Maria, I sensed that she was a little bit more than a little bit daunted by all the press attention. There was press there tonight from all over the country. But at 16 years old, she handled it all with tremendous poise. John?
All right, thank you, Keith. Well, it seems that 1993 is ending on a pretty nice weather note, but what will the first day of 1994 bring?
Well, we know the man who can tell us the answer, Brian Albrecht, up on the rooftop overlooking underground. Brian.
That's right. I got a great vantage point up here, and I've got a thermometer right off to my left here a little bit. Earlier this evening, it said 49. Now it says 43. Last night at this time, we were in the upper 20s already, so it's a lot nicer outside right now. Tomorrow morning, as you wake up, it's going to be cool, low 30s with a partly cloudy sky. Your holiday weekend forecast comes up in a couple of minutes.
All right, thanks very much, Brian. We have a lot more news to tell you about on this special edition of 11 News tonight. We'll show you some robbers who wouldn't take no for an answer when we come back.
And then a little later on, a conversation with Travis Tritt. The New Year's means he's Super Bowl bound.
And of course, we'll take you up until midnight. The Peach Drop, less than 50 minutes away. Stay with us.
minutes to the end of 1993. Welcome back to this special edition of 11 News Tonight, and an ending and a new beginning.
And we're about, almost 45 minutes away from midnight when the peach is going to drop and 1994 will begin. It's a new way in Atlanta tonight to spend New Year's Eve, a different way that the whole family can enjoy.
And it's happening in Midtown near Colony Square, and that's where 11 News reporter Beth Galvin is to report on first night. How's it going down there, Beth?
It's going fine, Cynthia. The organizers of first night took a gamble that Atlantans like the arts enough to stay sober and to brave the cold streets of Midtown. And from the looks of things down here tonight, that gamble is paying off. First night may be a sober affair, but it's anything but serious, thanks to performance groups like 800 East, transforming a Midtown office building into a bizarre circus of the senses, where nothing's too strange. Just ask Becky Best.
It's fun. This guy's the funniest thing I've ever seen. There's some really bizarre things and some really fun things. Some things I don't understand. It's like...
Thousands of Atlantans of all ages paid $10 a piece to stroll down Peachtree Street. It's a celebration organizers say is more than just a non-alcoholic event.
This is about art and culture and businesses coming together with artists and creating another way of celebrating New Year's Eve. I mean, haven't we all got a lot sick and tired of the traditional, going out, seeing fireworks and, not having our dreams fulfilled.
For a taste of gospel, hundreds of first-nighters pack into First Presbyterian Church. Organizers say this year's event offered 20 different performance venues. But will there be a second night for Atlanta's newest New Year's celebration? The folks we talked to say yes. And to show you just how serious the celebration of the arts is, we're getting ready for our 3D fireworks. And are you all ready to ring in the... John and Cynthia, I think they're having a good time down here tonight.
I think so, too, and that explains the glasses. It should be an interesting show. Thank you, Beth.
Bye-bye.
Well, there are reports tonight that a scandal at Hartsfield Airport could become much bigger. The trial of Ira Jackson, the former airport commissioner, is scheduled to begin on Monday. Jackson is accused of accepting bribes and kickbacks from airport vendors. But according to Georgia Trend magazine, when businessman Harold Eccles testifies in that trial, he's going to name some other big names. Eccles has also been indicted, and Georgia Trend says that he'll testify that City Council President Marvin Arrington, former Councilman Morris Finley, and Mayor-elect Bill Campbell also accepted bribes. Now, Arrington has not commented. Finley denies the charge, and Campbell released a statement saying the charges were raised and examined during the campaign. He says the citizens of Atlanta have stated their belief in his honesty and integrity. And this follow-up to a series we showed you last year on 11 News, federal inspectors are now telling 18 Mississippi jails to shape up or shut down. The feds were called in after 47 deaths in jails in Mississippi. State authorities ruled all were suicides, but civil rights leaders there contend some inmates were murdered. While federal agents found nothing to prove that, they did find unfit jails, which will now be rebuilt or closed.
Police in Des Moines hope to put an armed robber behind bars soon.
Down, boys. Everything is down now.
The gunman held up this Quick Trip convenience store, not knowing his every move and sound were captured on videotape. Police hope that someone will recognize the gunman's voice and identify him. The man got away with only $60. Well, convenience stores still selling plenty of lottery tickets, especially here in Georgia this weekend. How would you like to start the new year $15 million richer? Well, that's how much the Lottery Commission says that this weekend's jackpot will be worth. Many outlets will be closed tomorrow, so those that are selling tickets will probably be very busy. Of course, you can see the numbers just after they're drawn at 11 tomorrow night here on 11Alive. It should be an exciting New Year's night for somebody.
Indeed. And, Brian Albrecht said the odds were pretty good for good weather on New Year's Eve. And, Brian, you were absolutely right.
Well, it's turned out about as best as we can possibly expect in Atlanta on the last day of the year. It's in the 30s to low 40s. The sky is clear. Winds are light. A little bit of a wind chill, but really not too bad. Hey, This is the way it should be. We're not freezing like we were last night, or especially the night before when winds were gusting upwards of 30 miles per hour. Today it turned out to be a nice day. We got a cold start to things, and it's a little brisk, but people continue to stream in here to Underground Atlanta. We're a little less than 45 minutes away from the big peach dropping down and welcoming in the new year. 34 degrees out at Hartsfield, although the clock and the thermometer here says 42 right now. Steady barometer, northeast wind at 7 puts the wind chill at 26 degrees. We had a high temperature today of 52. Not bad. A couple degrees above normal, 21 below the record. Unfortunately, we were a full 17 degrees above the record low this morning, 21 where we started, 4 above. The record low set 113 years ago in 1880. Earlier today, our weather watchers caught low temperatures in the teens, down to 11 degrees in Carrollton. At 11Alive in Midtown, we had 21 to start off the day, 20 in Monroe, and Gainesville also at 20. Noonan checked in at 15 degrees. Officially, we had low temperatures of 21 at Hartsfield, 19 in Macon, 16 in Rome, 17 over in Birmingham, and even Tallahassee, Florida got into the act with a hard freeze at 20. We recovered nicely, though, to high temperatures today in the 50s in most spots. 58 Valdosta and Tallahassee, 54 Columbus, 46 the cool spot up in Rome, 52 in Atlanta and Athens. Plenty of clear skies, beautiful blue sky today, but watch the clouds now starting to creep toward North Georgia, and I expect those clouds to begin arriving by early tomorrow morning, and we'll see an increasingly cloudy day on New Year's Day, with maybe a few showers later in the afternoon. Across the northern tier of states, wintry weather to greet the new year from New England all across the upper Midwest, where there's snow falling from Wisconsin down into Iowa and parts of Missouri, and more snow moving across the Rocky Mountains. Here tonight, we'll expect low temperatures in Georgia down into the upper 20s and low 30s. 30s in the city of Atlanta, outlying spots to the upper 20s, and 30s again down in the panhandle of Florida. Tomorrow, increasing clouds, leading to a chance for a shower or two late in the afternoon. More likely rain tomorrow night. Should be light. High temperatures on New Year's Day will likely be maybe a little warmer than today in spite of the clouds. Low to mid-50s, 55 or so in Atlanta, 70s down in Florida. And the outlook for the second day of the new year, Sunday, clearing off, still mild, temperatures once again in the 50s. So here's how it goes the rest of 1993 and early 1994. Clear and not as cold tonight, bottoming out at 32 in the city, upper 20s in the suburbs. Then tomorrow, increasing clouds, maybe a shower in the afternoon. More likely the rain will be with us tomorrow night, a high of 56. Your 5-day outlook, mid-50s Sunday, low 50s Monday with sunshine, increasing clouds through the mid part of next week. So from Underground Atlanta, up on the roof, Happy New Year.
All in all, a beautiful night to say goodbye to 1993.
You bet.
It certainly is. Happy New Year to you, Brian. Well, word of a new drug that makers claim can sober you up. That's next on 11 News Tonight. Plus a country New Year's Eve with Georgia's own Travis Tritt and news of what he'll do for his halftime show at the Super Bowl.
And Fred is here to show us another New Year's tradition, the Peach Bowl, so we hope you'll stay with us.
Think Star 11. If you're on Pactel Cellular and see news happening, Star 11 connects you directly with 11 News. Be an 11 News mobile news watcher and think Star 11.
Well, the excitement continues to build here at Underground, but meanwhile, more news. They say if it's too good to be true, then it probably is. A California company is testing a new drug called Detoxahol. The makers claim it can speed up the body's processing of alcohol. Basically, it sobers you up within an hour. Now, some doctors are very skeptical, and the FDA would have to test this before it would be available to the public.
Well, he's famous for asking who's on the pole. Tonight, Fred's on the pole.
He is indeed.
On that pole with the peach.
Can you believe it?
Yeah, we're here. Can you see me?
Yeah, we see you. You look great.
Oh, I don't know if I look great. See, I'm wearing these headsets because I heard Arian was going to try to land. Going to bring him in. Hey, let's talk about that great Peach Bowl. We are live, by the way, above about 250,000 people here at Underground Atlanta. And I'll tell you what, it is an exciting sight, and we're looking forward to the new year. But let's get to those Peach Bowl highlights. Kentucky and Clemson at the Georgia Dome. And UK takes the early lead. Pookie Jones, a rollout touchdown pass, 10-7 Wildcats. They led 13-7. under a minute to play. Patrick Sapp back to pass. It's intercepted by Marty Moore, but Marty fumbles the football. And Clemson is on it. Sapp, this time to Terry Smith for the touchdown. The final score, 14-13. Clemson a winner over UK. New coach Tommy West is undefeated.
Yeah, it feels really good, but I'm prouder of this football team than I am anything that I did. Our assistant coaches did a great job getting them ready to play, and our football team did a great job handling this transition.
And congratulations to the Clemson Tigers. Gator Bowl, North Carolina playing Alabama in Jacksonville. We'll pick it up with Brian Bergdorf, the quarterback, the young man from Cedartown. A 33-yard keeper for the touchdown. And Bama will win this game as Bergdorf goes to Terrence Lynch. 24-10, the final score. Bama a winner. Well, there was one bowl game earlier today. My former team, the Indiana Hoosiers, looking absolutely brutal. Look at this. They begged for 1 second on the clock at halftime so they could kick this field goal. It gets blocked and returned 81 yards for a touchdown by Antonio Banks of Virginia Tech, and Virginia Tech beats Indiana. Final score, 45-20. In the NFL, one game this afternoon, the Vikings were winners 14-9 over the Redskins, so the Vikings have secured a playoff spot. When we come back, the plays of 1993. But first, here is the bowl lineup on 11Alive tomorrow, and it begins at 1 o'clock with the Fiesta and ends with the Orange between Florida State and Nebraska. And I'm Fred Khalil, back live here at Underground Atlanta. And we are in the tower where the Big Peach is going to drop at midnight. And I'm kind of in the middle on the very first tier. Took enough for me to climb up this high, man. There was no way I was going to climb up to that second tier. I still haven't figured out how I'm going to get down. All right, plays of the year. Let's start with Greg Maddux, Braves pitcher. Remember this play. I mean, this was outstanding. Don Slaught. Can't tag him. So Maddux, look at this, a little running back, boop, boop, little juke move, safe. That was a great play. Las Vegas High School, Ryan Hoffman, watch him. He will come up with the save behind his back, off the glass for the bucket. Watch. Whoa! Actually not behind his back, in front of him a little bit. Don Calhoun hits the three-quarter court shot for $1 million at Chicago Stadium. The all-time brutal play of the year, the decade, the century. Jose Canseco off his head for the home run. Shaquille O'Neal doesn't only pull down the rim, but the backboard and everything else. And those are the plays of 1993. And I would just like to say to John Pruitt one last goodbye. I appreciate all that you've done, and I've really enjoyed working with you, sir. And as I said earlier, and this is the best way that I could put it, you give everyone who sits next to you credibility, sir, and I want to just wish you the best.
Well, Fred, thank you so much. We feel the same way about you. You're a real pro, and you've brought a lot to the 11 News team, and best of luck in getting down from that tower. I don't suggest you ride the Peach down. I think you better get down before the Peach comes.
This place is wired, man. It could blow up at any second.
Thank you so much, Fred. Best of luck to you.
Somehow I think he might try to ride that Peach down.
No.
You know how crazy Fred is.
No.
All right. Still to come on this special edition of 11 News tonight, a preview of the Super Bowl halftime show.
And Travis Tritt spends New Year's in Atlanta. You'll hear from him next.
Well, Georgia's Travis Tritt is certainly keeping busy these days.
And even as we speak, he's performing before a packed house at the Omni in his annual holiday homecoming concert. Tritt, as you know, will be one of the halftime entertainers for the Super Bowl this year. He told us earlier tonight that his selection for halftime will be his hit song, T-R-O-U-B-L-E. Now, despite not being the Super Bowl committee's first choice, Tritt says still he's ready to do the job.
My job is to go out there and sing. And just to give the best performance that I know how to give. As far as the other things that are going on around me, if they have dancers or if they have, you know, that kind of stuff, I'm not into all that. I just go out and sing my songs and do things the best way I know how to do them and give as much energy as I know how to put behind my performance.
And Tripp will be joined by halftime by other country stars, Winona Judd, Clint Black, and Tanya Tucker.
That'll be a big show, but tonight the big show is right here. And Cynthia, I know you want to get down in the crowd and boogie, but we have a New Year's Eve special still coming up.
There's much more coming up, so we want you to stay with us. We'll be right back.
Because Wachovia cares, there's 11 News Scribe, closed captioning for the hearing impaired.